Hello, 大家好. Today's guest is Aziz from Tunisia. He moved to Shanghai 3 years ago and is currently studying Chinese after obtaining his bachelor's degree. Today, I'll ask him about his journey in China and what he has experienced as international student. Aziz, can you briefly introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Aziz. I'm 25 years old from Tunisia. And I'm a YouTuber and a content producer. And I study Chinese here. This is my second year studying Chinese.
Thank you. So, this is your second year studying Chinese language, right? And for your bachelor's degree, what did you study?
I studied computer science and technology.
And it's also in the university in China, right?
Yeah, I did my bachelor here in China, and then after I finished my computer science degree, I studied 1 year of Chinese, and then this is my second year.
Oh, so that means you studied computer science in English?
Yeah, I studied in English, yeah.
So I'm very curious why did you decide to get your bachelor's degree in the Chinese university, not in Tunisia?
So basically, after I graduated from high school in Tunisia, the system in Tunisia to become an engineer of computer science, you need to study 2 years of preparatory engineering school, and then you take another exam, and then you can get into an engineering school. And when I studied that in Tunisia, I was not feeling fulfilled. It was really hard for no reason. So I wanted something that will be the same thing as my goals. So I was thinking, I talked with my parents and I was like, I don't like this anymore. I want to change. I want to either change the university or I want to study abroad. And at that time, my sister was studying here in China. She was doing her master's in intercultural communication. So she was always trying to push me, oh, Aziz, come study here, whatever. And then I was a little bit hesitant. So I did my own research and I saw that China is very famous for its technology. And I thought that if I come here, I think computer science will be very good degree, and the environment will be very good for my skills to develop very quickly. So I spoke with my parents and then we decided that I'm going to come to China to study computer science.
So, because your sister is already studying in China, and she's kind of invited you to come here.
Yeah. She was trying to convince me for so long and I was like, I don't know, China, I don't know. And then when I did my research, watched some videos, read some articles, I was convinced. I was like, okay, I need to come here and see it for myself.
Did you ever hear why your sister decided to study in China?
Yeah, so my sister, at first, she wanted to go to Korea.
Oh.
But I think it was difficult to find a job in Korea or something like that. So she came here to work in China, actually. When she first came to China, she was an English teacher. She did 6 months and then she went back home because her contract was finished. So when she went back home, she searched more and she was like, oh, I like China, I like my experience there. I want to do my master's there and then eventually try to get a job in that field. And then when she did she did master's in intercultural communication, so she was studying communication stuff about culture, about how to deal with the other person. And then after that she did her doctorate in China studies. So she's a doctor now in Chinese studies.
Wow.
And she understands a lot about the culture, she understands about international relationships and all of that. And now she's an intercultural consultant.
Is she also in Shanghai?
Yeah, she's also in Shanghai.
So what kind of images or impressions do the Tunisian people have towards China or Chinese people, generally speaking?
Generally speaking, I think Tunisians do not know a lot about China. I think most of the information that we know is that China is big, China has a lot of people, and they are the factory of the world. So everything that you will find in your household is made by Chinese. That's why we're this is Chinese product, this is Chinese product. So Tunisians do not know that much about China. That's why I was curious. I was like, wait, most of Tunisians, when they graduate high school, they go to Europe or the US or Canada. So I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't go west. Let me try east. Let me go explore that one, because that place was still very unfamiliar to this day, even though that more and more Tunisians are coming to study and work in China, but it's still very unknown place. It's not very common.
I see. Probably not many Chinese people living in Tunisia as well.
Yeah, not many.
Probably no Chinese restaurants as well.
I think I saw only one Chinese restaurant, and that was in the capital.
Oh.
Actually, I tried Chinese food there. I think it was jiro chafan, like rice and some, and there was some also seafood, some stuff like that. I tried that. That was like my introduction to Chinese food before I come to China.
Remember back in time, do you think those Chinese foods are authentic or close to authentic?
I think the chow fan was almost the same, but I don't remember the seafood because the seafood here is very different. Each place is
yes.
They cook it differently.
Yeah,
but
true,
I think the
true.
chow fan was pretty authentic.
So not many people in Tunisia means probably you don't really get to hear any Chinese languages back in home as well.
Yeah, never. Prior to my sister experience, I don't recall hearing Chinese at all. So that's like Japanese, yes, because also like Japanese culture in Tunisia is more popular than Chinese culture.
Oh,
because
really?
Because of anime and gaming. And I was very into that culture, and there was like a big community in Tunisia. We always host events about about Japanese culture, about like anime, and we talk about that. Oh, there's this new anime, there's this new movie. Even like in Tunisia, they bring a lot of Japanese movies in theater, and it's like translated in Arabic, French, or English.
Oh wow! So did you also used to watch Japanese animes?
Not used to, still.
You still watch it?
Still,
Okay.
I am very interested about that. I like watching anime, and that's why I went to Japan like twice because of anime.
I ask you still because in Japan, when we are younger, like kids, we watch animes all the time, like it's so into it. But when we get adults, many people kind of stop watching animes because we consider it's entertainment for the kids.
Oh, interesting.
But in China or other places, everybody watches, right? So I find it very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's getting bigger and bigger because also for us in Tunisia and in the Arab world as well, we have like channels that dub the anime into Arabic. So it's gonna be like Arabic dub anime. And that's how we grew up with, like for example, Hunter x Hunter or One Piece or Naruto. And then from there, when we grew up, we were like, oh wait, we can watch these anime in Japanese and we can watch these hundreds of thousands of animes on the internet. And then that's how we continue to watch. But there's a big community in Tunisia for anime lovers. Yeah.
Wow. I feel so proud to be Japanese now.
Yeah, for sure. Also, one of the good things is that Japan and Tunisia have good relationships politically. So Tunisians can go to Japan without a visa. So that's why I can go to Japan.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really good, yeah.
And Shanghai and Tokyo are very close.
Oh, very close. I think it's like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Oh, perfect.
Or if you want to go to other cities like Osaka or Fukuoka, Osaka 2 hours, Fukuoka 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Even closer.
I remember we went to Nagoya the first time, and it was like 2 hours and a half, something like that. Perfect. I like short flights.
So you said that you are currently studying Chinese, right?
Yeah.
So that means that you can understand a little bit of Chinese, right?
Yeah.
So when you went to Japan, did your Chinese language knowledge help you to understand the Japanese language?
Maybe reading. Reading the signs, I was like, oh, this is chuko, this is this is entrance, this is when it's like written in kanji, but when it's like katakana and hiragana, I don't know those, so I was like, maybe I don't even know these characters. But my girlfriend was studying Japanese at that time, so she was giving me like some tips on how to read or like. I just remember one sentence. I think it's the most important sentence after arigato and ohayo. Toire doko desu ka? That's for me the most important sentence.
Good. Actually, I'm the same. That is the first sentence that I remember when I first studied Chinese.
That's the most important sentence. As long as you have that, you can do anything.
Yes. Same. So before you moved to China, did you come here in advance before actually moving here?
Oh no, I just came and moved
Ooh.
straight.
Straight.
But the period that I came was the COVID period, so that was a little bit difficult with like the logistics. So I had to stay for 10 days in a hotel, and then after that I moved to the university dorm, and that's how I kind of started living. So for the first 10 days I was looking at China from a window. I was like, I'm here but not quite, you know. But after that it was more fun because I can go out and experience it more.
So when was it?
It was October 2022. So after 10 days from the hotel, I went straight to the university dorm and I stayed there for a while. And then back then it was in order for you to go outside from the campus you have to apply and you have to say, oh, I'm going out to this place, I'm coming back at this time and all of that. So it was a little bit strict, but I think it took maybe a few months and then it was like open, like you can go out and do whatever. I think it was around December 2022. That's when China like just open, just go out, just do whatever you want.
Yes. That year was very tough, especially in Shanghai.
Yeah. And I hear that also Japan had a similar experience where they were one of the few last like countries to like fully open up, right? So it was like difficult for a lot of people because especially like foreigners or expats that live in that country and then they went back. They want to come in. It was very difficult.
Yeah, it was very difficult. It was really difficult to get the visa as well that time.
Oh yeah, because I applied to university in 2020 and nobody said there was no visa for China. So I had my paper from the university, I had the admission, I paid for the university and all of that, and I went to the embassy and the embassy was closed and there was like only the guard and he was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I want to apply for student visa. He's like, there's no visa. I was like, well, okay, when do I come back? He's like, I don't know, just wait. I was like, okay.
But you paid for everything.
Yeah, I paid for everything, yeah. So that was difficult, yeah.
So that means you have to study remotely in the beginning.
Yeah.
And wait for the border to be open.
Exactly.
What was the difficult part for you to study, remotely?
I think the most difficult part was the time. Because Tunisia and China have like 7-hour difference. So I was living like by night. I was like sleeping in the morning, waking up at night. Because I was staying in my parents' house. When they wake up, I go to sleep. When they sleep, I wake up. And I remember like this instance where there was a few days where I wake up like at 9 p.m. and I go out with my friends. For me, that's like I get my morning coffee at 9 p.m. And then for them, it's like that's the end of the day. So it was very difficult. I had classes like at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., exams at 6 a.m. So that was definitely interesting.
So by the time all of your classes finish on the day, what time was it in your country?
Usually classes end like around 10 a.m. So, and because each day is different, but especially for me, for my body, I cannot have like a different, like each day different sleeping schedule. So what I did, I just made it like by default. Okay, I'm gonna just wake up at 9 p.m. and go to sleep like around 12 p.m. and that's it. So no matter what time the classes are, I'm like on China time, basically.
Wow.
Because all my friends were like studying in university, so I don't see them because our time is very different. So we only can hang out in the weekend, and they can't stay up with me like until 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. So they just like go to sleep.
So how did you communicate with your classmates or teachers outside of the classes?
Yeah. So for the teachers, I mean, in the classroom, you can just talk in like the VOV meeting or Zoom meeting. With my classmates, we would like hold these like Discord calls every now and then, and we would like get to know each other. Yo, what's your name? What do you do? And sometimes we would play some games together.
Wow.
Recommend each other some stuff, help each other with homework. You know. So that's how we kind of got to know each other before we moved to like China. So I knew most of my classmates before I come to China because we had a lot of conversations together.
And also you guys use WeChat to communicate with each other, right?
Yeah, for sure. And the one of the good things about studying online is that everyone is online. So if you have like questions for the teachers or something like that, they are always there, so they will answer you. So that was also good.
So all of the classes are conducted in English, means your classmates are also from other countries, not only Chinese.
Yeah, I had classmates from Malaysia, Pakistan, Singapore, Turkmenistan, Egypt. Maybe I'm forgetting some, but those are like most of my classmates are from.
Are there any Chinese local students in your classes?
When I had online classes, no. But when I came to China, we had some classes with Chinese students. Yeah.
I see. In that way, you can get to know about the local people.
Yeah. That was one of the things. The good things is that the classes that we had were like group projects. So we had to work with Chinese students. So work with some of them. And actually, funny enough, is that one of the students that worked with us was the top student in all that year. Like when we graduated, she was the top student. For some reason, I was like, okay. Wow. I mean, she was really good student. Yeah.
Wow, she must be fluent in English as well.
Yeah. Her English was very good. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And then, when did you graduate from the university courses? Like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2024, July 2024.
2024. And after that, you decided to stay in China, right?
Yeah. So basically, I have this idea in my head where, okay, so after spending like 2 years in China, it's like you kind of have like these two paths, right? All my classmates has this idea. It's either, okay, I continue here and try to find like a career path or whatever, or I just take what I learned from here and I try to find like work back home. So for me, I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to apply for a scholarship to study Chinese language. So I applied for that and I got the scholarship, and I studied 1 year of Chinese language because I was like, I like it here and I want to stay here, I want to work here, like build a career and learn more about China. And I think one of the key factors to learn more about China is to have Chinese. I think as a bare minimum, you should have like HSK 4 to be able to kind of survive, to understand what is kind of happening here. And I even say this in my videos. I know there's a lot of foreigners here that don't speak a word of Chinese, which I think maybe it's not too good. There's like always this barrier, like you cannot understand what's happening around you. You always need someone to help you to translate.
Yes.
I mean, even now for me, after studying one year and a half, I still need someone to help, but not all the time. I can get around, with the 3 words that I know, I can get around. Yeah. So yeah.
I understand what you say. I used to live in Shanghai nearly 10 years ago. And then at that time, actually, my Chinese language ability was a lot lower than now. So I needed a lot of help from other people. Because of my language limitation, I could mainly communicate with somebody who can either speak Japanese or English. But now I can communicate with the local people in Chinese, so that means I can communicate with more people. So that means I can get more information from them.
Exactly. I think language is very important here.
Yeah. Also, as you said, the more I understand the language, the more I understand why they think or why they exist this way or that way.
Exactly. I think that is very important. Like we can talk like with other Chinese people that speak in English, but you are limiting yourself to the people that you can speak, because maybe those people, they have a different mentality than the people that only speak Chinese, right? So if you have like a good range between the people that speak in English and also the people that cannot speak in English, that would be a good like range of ideas.
So when you try to use Chinese to the local people, like how do they usually react? For example, if you say ni hao or huye or something like that, like whenever you try to communicate in Chinese.
I would say in Shanghai, a lot of people, they seem to find that very normal because they know there's a lot of foreigners here in Shanghai. They know a lot of them speak in Chinese, and even maybe on social media they see them. There's a lot of like content creators right now. They are speaking in Chinese, so maybe it's not that surprising anymore. But I think when I speak maybe with Aziz and Shushus, that's when they are surprised. They're like, "Oh my God, you speak Chinese? What?" And maybe other cities that are not like Shanghai, maybe like in Suzhou or like some cities, I feel like I'm a celebrity. Everyone wants to take a picture with me, and they will say, "Oh, your Chinese is really good. How did you learn?" And then they start. I find like Chinese people are very curious. You know, they would start asking you questions. They're like, "You feel like a celebrity. Oh, let's take a picture together." So that's generally like the interaction, how it goes. Most of the time here in Shanghai, they would be like, "Oh, okay, you speak Chinese. Let's just speak Chinese." But I find it like less and less more surprising for Chinese people to find like a foreigner that speaks Chinese.
I think that especially Shanghai people are changing, I guess. Whenever I try to use a sentence or words, people are always surprised at me. Oh my goodness, you are foreigner and your Chinese is very good.
Yeah.
Like I just said ni hao and then they like
Yeah, exactly. This is something that even maybe when you talk with other countries, for example, the US or the UK, when you speak in English, it's fine. Like they expect you to speak in English and they expect you to speak fluently in English.
Yes.
But in Chinese, if you say 2-3 words, they're like, "Oh my God,
Yes.
So yeah, I find it very fun when you have that interaction.
Nice. Do they usually ask you where you are from?
Yeah, especially taxi drivers, always. They always ask me where am I from, what do I think about China, what do my country think about China, like why am I here, all types of stuff. I think that's one of the good things that you can like practice your Chinese when you talk with the taxi driver. But sometimes they have like some dialect and I don't understand anything.
So when you first moved to Shanghai, so what was your impression towards the city?
My first impression, because there was a theme, it's called cyberpunk. I like that theme a lot. There's a lot of games that are like that, so I like playing video games. And I always had this idea in my mind that Shanghai is like that cyberpunk theme city. And when I came here and when I went to like Waitan, the Bund at the first time, I fell in love, basically. There's like that meme on Instagram, did you come to China just to look at buildings with lights? Yes, I came to China just to look at buildings with lights. It's very, I don't know, it looks really cool. It looks like very futuristic. I mean, of course, that's not the only reason I'm here. It's also like the culture. I like Chinese culture. I'm interested in it. I like the Chinese mentality of doing things on how to, like, you know, technology advancement, conveniences, all those kind of stuff.
Is there anything that surprised you when you started living in Shanghai? For me, in talking from my experience, I was very surprised that so many people smoking in the public spaces. That surprised me a lot, actually. Especially some people smoking next to the sign that says no smoking.
Okay. I think this is something small, but for example, something surprised me that Chinese, they mix different proteins. So they would have fish, beef, chicken, all in the same dish. So for us in Tunisia, for example, we don't have that. We have like this meal has beef, this meal has lamb, this meal, we don't like mix them all together. So when I have this here, I'm like, that's surprising to me. Do you have that in Japan as well? Like, do you mix like different?
We mix actually.
Oh, you mix?
Yeah.
Okay.
So because we can eat basically anything, so beef, pork, chicken, all on one plate. So no problem for us.
Okay.
Like for example, Muslim people cannot eat this, or Hindu people cannot eat this. I know that. So.
Okay, makes sense. I think that's one of the things that, and that small thing that surprised me.
So probably a lot of customs are very different from your country and China, right?
I would say that even though that the cultures are different, but actually there's a lot of things that are very common. So for example, like something that is really similar between China and Tunisia is family. Family is really important in Tunisia. Like for example, whenever I want to take a decision, I consult my mom, my dad, and my sister. no matter what is the decision, whether it's big or small, even like buying a jacket. We have a family group. I would send it there. I would be like, oh, what do you think? Do you think this will look good on me, or blah blah whatever? And I find that also in China, it's very important. Like the family is involved in a lot of the life decisions, or even like the small things, where like the mom and the dad, they always call the daughter or the son, like especially when they first like move out, you know. Last time I saw like this family, like parents, they dropped their son in the university in the beginning of the university, and they were like waving, and they stayed there until the son like went in and they couldn't see him anymore. That's when they left. I miss my mom and my dad. So yeah, I think that's like something that's very similar between China and Tunisia.
I see. So the family opinions really matters.
Yeah, family opinion really matters. Like you would always try to find a common ground between what you like or what you want to do and your family opinion about stuff. Even though, like for example, in my family, of course we are like different people, so we like different things and we have different opinions, but we always try to have a conversation and try to convince the other. I'm like, oh, but mom, I like this thing because it's this and this and this, and then we would have like an open conversation about certain types of things. Yeah.
Like for example, imagine that if you want to take a job, but if your family disagrees to take the job and encourage you to do something different, so what do you guys usually do in your country?
I mean, there's like two choices here. It's either you would fight with your family and just take the job, or you would listen to your family and don't take the job. But usually, even if you fight with your family and you take the job, eventually your family will understand your decision. Maybe not that at that time, but maybe like after few years or few months, they would be like, oh, okay. Because that's the most important thing about family. They want the son to be happy, or they want the daughter to be happy. So I think that's like something that you can do, but I think sometimes it depends by the parents. Some parents are open-minded. They like to leave their children like do whatever and then try to find their way in life, and some parents, they would be like very strict. No, you do this and you do that, and they have like a strict like line. And I find that also in China. Some parents are like, okay, do whatever you want. Some parents are like, no, you need to do this and this and this.
So it pretty much depends on the family.
Yeah, I think it depends on the family. Maybe also depends on how that family, the grandparents as well, because those are also important. It dictates how the generation works, right? And yeah, depends on where is the family. Maybe a family from Shanghai, maybe it's more open than another family from another city or something like that. Yeah.
So in the opposite, so what was the difference between China and Tunisia that you found?
Okay. So, for example, in my country, most of the people in my country are Muslim religion. But here in China, there's multiple religions. So when I came here and I saw like, oh, there's people that are Muslim, people that are Buddhist, people that are Taoist, people that don't believe. And then when you have this kind of diversity, you kind of try to be equal with everyone. So, for example, in my country, we would have religious holidays. So we have like Ramadan, we have like these holidays that for Muslim people. But here in China, they don't have those types of holidays. It's only like Chinese New Year and like the things that are mostly related to all Chinese. No matter what religion you are Chinese, so you will have this holiday. But they don't put more consideration into individual, or like only certain group of people have this type of holiday, so we will give them this holiday or something like that.
Yes.
That was like something different, because here in Tunisia, like I would say like 95 or 99% of people are Muslim. So yeah.
So it might be a little bit difficult for the very faithful Muslim people to continue life in China, I guess.
I wouldn't say difficult, but I think at the end of the day, you can practice your own religion in your own household, or you can go to mosques, because there are mosques and churches and all of that in China. But just, I think, no expectation for holiday. That's what I would say.
I see.
So I think if a Muslim person like comes to live in China, they have like a lot of things that they can use. Like there's halal food everywhere, there's mosques, So I don't think there's an issue there. Just maybe the holidays, that's the issue, that's it.
Also, did you find any differences between Tunisian people and Chinese people in terms of communication style, especially when they try to show respect towards other people, or it's similar?
I think it's quite similar because I might be wrong here, but because Tunisia went through a lot of different civilizations. Like Tunisia has a really long history and has like many civilization passed through Tunisia, and that's why maybe we have this idea about respect from different cultures, and because also China had like long history, so maybe we have that kind of something in common. So we have like how to show respect or how to be like respectful towards your parents or your colleagues or other people. We have something similar to that, yeah.
So when you communicate with the Chinese people, you don't really face any difficulties to understand each other as long as you have a common language that you can use.
Yeah, I think most of the time I don't have like that type of difficulty. This reminded me of the differences between Tunisia and China. In Tunisia, we tend to have more planning into doing something or a project or something like that.
I see.
Where China tends to have more of doing more than planning. So I would say like I think this is one of the reasons like China is prospering right now is like let's do everything and then let's figure out like the problems later. Let's build this building and then if it fails we can fix it and we can build another building or something like that.
Yeah.
I think also Japan has a similar thing where Japan like try to plan this and this and this and this, but I feel like there's always a balance between the planning and the execution, because if there's too much planning, that means like projects will take a lot of time to be done. But if there's too much execution, that means projects tend to fail more. So that's maybe something that is like a little bit different, and I find that with like projects, like when I do with Chinese people, when I have like some type of project or some type of planning to do, they would be like, okay, let's do this, let's do it right now. But I would be like, maybe we should plan it, do some research, let's have more of a structure before we start the execution on stuff.
In that way, I think that we, the Tunisian people and Japanese people, can get along well, I think. Because in terms of that, the Chinese people and Japanese people are totally opposite. That is why oftentimes the Japanese people get frustrated towards the Chinese people. And then they do everything quite quickly, which is really good, which we can also learn in Japan. But sometimes they expect their China speed in the Japan business as well, which is almost impossible.
Okay.
How has your experience in China changed you?
Oh, this is a deep question. I think this comes from my family because we don't come from a rich family. We come from hardworking family. My father is a teacher and my mother is a teacher. So we believe a lot in education, and we believe that if you work hard enough, you will find success in your life or in your career or in all of that. And one of the reasons that maybe like I didn't stay in Tunisia and I came here to China is that China highlights this, really highlights this thing. If you work really hard on something, if you put the effort and the hours, you would be able to reach what you want. And when I came here and I saw like how hard Chinese people are working and how they would put not 100%, they would put 120% of effort into something that they really want to do, or that something that they want to like get out of like a certain level of living, or they want to buy a car or a house or something like that. I think this gave me another perspective on hard working. And I want to say a quote in Arabic and I will give you the translation. And this is from a very famous poet in Tunisia. And it goes like من يهاب صعود الجبال يعيش أبد الدهر بين الحفر, which means whoever feels climbing mountains will forever live among the pits. And I feel like when I was in Tunisia and I was looking at US, Europe, China, Japan, all of these, they felt like huge mountains. And I was like scared to face these fears. But when I came here and I started climbing this mountain, even though that I think the road is still long ahead, I'm still young, I'm 25 years old, but it's less scary to be on the mountain rather than at the bottom of the mountain. So I think those are the two things, hard working and kind of conquering your fears of climbing mountains, basically. Yeah.
I also think that the Chinese people are very hardworking.
I think also Japanese have a very similar mentality.
I think so too. I think it's an Asian mentality, I guess. Because China has more people, so competition is harder.
Oh yes, definitely.
So the hardworking level is a lot higher in China, I think.
Like conquering this is always having like a competitive advantage. And I said this in one of my videos. If you want to succeed in China, it's not like you need to be as good as Chinese. You need to be better. That's how you can succeed. Yes. And of course, it doesn't mean like you are like the perfect person doing like everything. You have all the skills, all the languages. But I feel like you can have like one competitive advantage. You can have something that you are special with. So that way you can move up the ladder quicker.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because they will need a reason to hire you.
Yeah, exactly. It can be as simple as maybe you speak more languages, or maybe you have an experience in a certain field that not a lot of people have, or you have a certain skill that not a lot of people have. It's always like thinking like outside of the box and not always trying to follow like everyone. Okay, if I have a bachelor and a master, I will have a job. No, of course not, because you don't have any experience. But if you have like maybe a project, you did a personal project here, you did a personal project there, you try to work in an internship here or there, or you had like this certificate of some sort, I think that would be more beneficial than just having 2 degrees, you know.
I also believe that being different from other people can be advantage in whenever you go. And if you also have a solid expertise and also you have a strong language ability, then I believe that somebody wants you.
Yeah, definitely. I firmly believe that, and that's what I'm working towards.
That's so good on you. And what do you want to try in the future using your experience in China?
So I'm very passionate about making videos and telling stories. And I think finding maybe a job or having this as something that I do daily, I think that will have like a lot of fulfillment. So right now I'm finishing like studying my language. I still have another semester to do. And I want to reach like HSK 4 level, so I have like the basic level of speaking in Chinese. But I also want to maybe get my master's in design, have some more projects about China, about showing like the China that me and you know, and maybe not a lot of people on the internet know, because maybe they see another different image of China. Because we lived here, we know how it is. We can tell better stories, and that's like my type of passion. I want to make more videos. I want to tell better stories, have more like ideas and those kind of stuff. So
yeah, that's important. Like you said, probably still a lot of people, especially in your country, don't really know about like what the China is really.
Yeah,
like, right?
Exactly. And I try to share this videos with my friends, because my videos are in English, and I would say most Tunisians, they also speak English, so they can understand. So I always try to send to my friends, and they were like, "Oh wow, you have this in China, you have that in China." So my friends are my first people that I'm influencing. I'm like, "Oh, look at this! I did this in China, I did that in China." So they're like, "Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting."
That's amazing. And so, last question: what advice would you give to others who are considering studying in China?
I would say watch as many videos about China as possible, because that will give you a good idea on what you are putting yourself into. And we know that there's like positive and negative videos about China, so actually just watch both and you can have a better decision on whether you want to come here or not. And if you want to come here, and if your idea is to build a career and all of that, I would say your first challenge or your first thing that you need to master is the language, and then figure out everything else, because the language will open a lot of doors that you cannot just open by just having like a bachelor or a master's.
That's a good advice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.